Hello guys, welcome back to my channel for another action figure review. So this is the 1/18 scale Robocop and Robocop 2 action figure, and this is from the HIYA Toys company, and I never bought anything from this brand. This is my first experience, and as far as I know, this Robocop line has actually released I think 1 month ago, and they have actually have 4 types of Robocop, which is the Robocop 1 has 2 types of it, and Robocop 2 also have 2 types of the version, so the cleaner version and the battle damage version for each one. So I'm picking up the cleaner version from the Robocop 1 and the battle damage version from Robocop 2. So it does looks very intriguing, and when I look at it up close and personal, I just have to grab it. And yeah, so without further ado, let's go jump into the review. So let's take a look at its box design first, and as you can see here, they're using a type of old school method of packaging, and the one that is inside is like the kind of version of carded figure, and then we have the normal box design outside. So for me, what I can commend is I really prefer to be just a window type of box. It's just easy to store the figure back inside, rather than you have to carefully detach the figure from the cut, and then if you want to keep it or you want to sell it, you have to just do some extra work for that, and then it's really it's not that practical. So I rather settle with the window type of box. And yeah, so let's go through for all the feature that we have here. We have the title up top, and then we have another title on the card, and we can see all the accessories and the figure inside, and at the bottom we have the age restriction and warnings, and we have the HIYA Toys logo. So at the back we have some different images, which is good. We have the Robocop one with the Add 209, and then we have the Robocop with his car burning and then I think this is the same description for all their figures, the product company description, MGM description, and then yes, it is made from China. So let's look at its overall feature, which is, I think there's nothing much, so let's crack this open and the figure out of the box. As you can see here that they have exactly or similar in the accessories, which in terms of amount, I think it's the same amount. They have 2 interchangeable hands and 1 gun and 2 connector for each base, and each base has its own connector. But Robocop 2, the battle damage version, comes with this cane brain, as you can see here. Let me just focus there. So it's kind of very detailed in terms of the brain and the mechanical part of it. You can see all the wires is paint very detailed over here. Okay, and then the differences between these two hands is Robocop 1 has its own unique interchangeable hands, like this one that has this kind of key. Is something like that, and then for the Robocop 2 it's just a simple plain holding type of hands. See that? And then in terms of the color, the Robocop 2 has a matte black, and Robocop 1 has more metallic on it. You can see the differences in terms of the color. I don't know why they went like that. I think that should be the same color. And then also the base also is different. So for the gun, it's exactly the same, as you can see here. It's exactly the same, as you can see here. It's exactly the same gun. So yeah, and for the base, actually it has some differences also, and you can see that the size is exactly the same, but the texture or the pattern on this pavement is different. You can see clearly that this is not the same mold. So yeah, I think they just should went for the same type of base but they've given us this kind of different type, so I'm okay with that. And I think this is the connector that we should be placing it under the, maybe we should put it side to side like that, and then you can just connect it with the other figure as you go along collecting more and more HIYA toys. So this is for the future connection. You can do like that, or you can just simply put it in front like that. So yeah, this is what we get from both of this figure, and it's very nice to see that this kind of scale get some sort of more accessories. Would more prefer that they give us because the hand is actually for the right hand only and not for the left hand, so the left hand is only having this one, this type, this open arms, this open hands. So as you can see, yeah, there's a bit of difference there in terms of the paint apps for this battle damage version and the normal version. Now let's take a look a little bit more detail on this both figure. From the front, you can see that is the pen application is different from this for both figures, and you know that Robocop 2 has more bluish of color rather than the original Robocop 1. So this Robocop 2 has the same pen apps, I think, for the Robocop 2 version, and as you can see, this one, the details on the damage area is very detailed, and as you can see, the body armor is the same mold and nothing is changed, just only the pen application, just like I mentioned just now. And as you can see, the Robocop one has more on metallic on the black area, black part, and this one is more a matte black. So I'm really glad that I picked this one up because I really like the shiny and metallic look of this piece on his body. So moving towards the leg, and I think it's also the same mold, and this one has a more like a purplish on its joint, and we can see some of the green over here, the layers of purple, green, bluish type of color. You can see the hue, while the Robocop one is exactly only silver, maybe some purple paint apps over here, but not much as this Robocop 2. As you can see here, the pen application on it is all over, and from the back, as you can see, it does show the differences on the pen application. On the detail, I think it's the same mold overall. And then yeah, they managed to capture the actor likeness over there, and it's pretty good. The lips, they got it right. It does really look like the actor, you know. And then in terms of proportion wise, I think it does have that stoic looking, not too tall of Robocop is not too, doesn't look too tall, so yeah, this might work. And then maybe there's a little bit gap over here, but once you get it into posing, it might not seem that visible anymore. You see here, and that's the purpose of it actually, I think, to give more range of its posability. I think both of it has the same amount of articulation. So talking about articulation, let's see the articulation. So I'm just going to do for one figure, because I think it's the same mold and articulation for both figure. So from the top, you can see that Robocop has I think a ball joint there. Can look looking down very good, and then looking up is also very good, and then side to side tilt, Okay, now at the arms, can rotate his arms 360, open wide to that, only that far. So, and then he got this maybe just a little bit past 90, the elbow joint, and then the wrist joint over here can rotate 360. It's on a ball joint there, if you can see here. It's on the ball joint. It does have this torso and waist articulation, so you can manipulate this movement, which is very nice. Can leaning backwards to that extent and moving forwards to that extent, and it also has this tilt side to side, so that is pretty good for a 1/18 scale, you know. And then it doesn't have the thigh swivel or anything like that. It's just the joint is only at its upper thigh here, and then he also has not so much bend, but I'm okay with it because this is Robocop, you know, so it doesn't move that agile or anything like that. So, and then they implement this mechanical over here, which is great, and for this scale, and you can just pull it in and it's a working mechanical instrument there, so that's very nice. And then it does have some tilt, some rocker, but not that much. It's pretty, you know, hard. It does rotate like that. So basically the articulation is pretty good. I'm loving it. I'm loving all of it. For this kind of scale, what do you expect? It's not a 1/12 scale or 1/6 scale to pull this off, to get this point of articulation in so many areas. So I forgot to tell you that it does have a little bit more bicep swivel over there, so that's good. Let's change the hands to a gun position. It's pretty tight there, and then you just slide the gun in because it's pretty tight over here. So yeah, then you simply has this Robocop look, you know. It reminds me of the Mayfix that I had last year. I already sold it, the Mayfix one. Now I'm regretting it, but thank God this came along, and I just really grateful that having this figure in my hand. So yeah, as you can see, it does have this. It's a very restricted movement. If you want to pose him to some extent, it can do, but you can actually do some great poses with him. As you can see, the iconic look for him like this. So that is a very nice gesture or pose, in my opinion. Okay, now we are going to see its height or scale comparison for him. Just a quick one. So let's see, he's standing almost 4 inches or 4 inches, and it's about 10 centimeter, as you can see that. And then to compare him with 1/12 scale, I bring you Thor here. It's a little bit taller. See here? So that is exactly how tall he is. I don't have the HIYA Predator one, but looking at the review, others review that Predator HIYA Toys is a little bit more taller. So yeah. So at the end of the day, we can see that this HIYA product, especially this Robocop line, is a very good figure, in my dictionary, because this is 1/18 scale and they managed to pull off all the articulation that needed for this type of scale. And I'm pretty much on board with this company and this line, and I will get the rest of the Robocop. And then for the upcoming releases, I definitely will buy it and review it also. So for you guys, I think this is a must-have in your collection if you are a big fan of a Robocop, or just a big fan of a 3.75 inch figure. So other than that, I think this figure stands very well. I think the possibility you will have so much fun on having this figure. And then to take that as a plus, you can build this figure around a good diorama. So this is the end of the review. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video or feel this video is informative enough, please like and subscribe, and if you have any question, just leave a comment below. So till we meet again in my next video, so sayonara.